which is do you have like some bullet points to how the person can focus on his goals and personal growth?
Yes. So I'll speak a little bit more abstractly, then I'll get to the specific bullet points.
Sure.
So obviously, setting goals and then doing them is important, and everybody knows that. That doesn't explain though why everybody stops or why people don't even bother to do it to begin with. And I think it starts with the where you are in imagination. So, if you're able to imagine yourself literally being who you want to be, right? So for me, if I could think of myself not as the dude who struggles after 15 minutes of running or whatever it may be, but if I imagine myself, say, running around the court like Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal, if I can, and I might know I'm tricking myself, but if I can just believe it for a second, that's a dose of inspiration that will fuel me to do more than I can possibly think of right now. So imagine yourself in that position that you want to be at. That will be the fuel that maintains you when motivation goes away, when January 30th hits, and you might not have seen much progress, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when life gets in the way and you don't want to combat it. Imagine yourself. Remember, as Mufasa says to Simba in that amazing scene in The Lion King, remember who you are. And I'd say remember who you want to be, and be sure that you can work your way into that reality.
But the problem with imagination for some people is they compare themselves to this fictional image in their minds, and they can get demotivated or feel like it's a long way to be there, like they will never do it, especially when this thing happens over the years, right? Like, so how would you address that problem?
Right, so a fundamental thing is being able to believe that you actually can get to where you want to get to, right? So chances are, me personally will never be able to run like Roger Federer. Probably that's definitely the case. But I'm not looking to be him. I mean, I'd love to be him, right? But what I'm looking to is to be the best that I can be. And the fictional character in your mind should not be a self-defeating fictional character in your mind. If you're going to imagine yourself to be something you're not, imagine it to be something that you actually want, something that's good. And it could be something that's outside of your wildest dreams. But make sure that it's something you think you can get to at some point. Or I put it like this. Drop the doubt. Say, I want to run 10 times faster than Federer. Say that. And then just start working towards it. Don't let your mind come into the back door and trick you again. And I'll say as well, people who've had immense levels of success, say, take Roger Federer, he's been asked, like, what did you think about yourself when you were growing up? He said, well, I knew I had something special in tennis, but I never thought it'd be all this. Maybe I'd be world number one. Maybe I'd win Wimbledon. Maybe I'd have a girlfriend. Turns out he's one of the best. He's won 8 Wimbledons. He has a wife who was the girlfriend. It worked out far bigger than he could have even pictured in his own fictional mind when he was younger. So I'd say the most important thing is to just set an image and go.
So what would be the rest of the bullet points?
Okay, so here are the bullet points. Number 1, set an image of where you want to be. Number 2, set a set of specific incremental goals that you will then achieve. Make sure they're not too much to burn out. Make sure they're not too little to actually achieve. Number 3, embrace pain as it comes. The pain can be physical. It will definitely be psychological. You'll feel awful at times. And that's where you need to fall on the second one, which is the goals and the penalties. If there are penalties in place, in the same way that somebody goes into work, even if they feel awful, because they have to, and there's a penalty, like getting fired if they don't, or they need to do their work for school, because they're going to fail out or something if they don't, there must be penalties in place. So, yeah, I mean, with those 3, you can do anything. It's more simple than you think. It's just a matter of setting the image right, setting the processes right, and then continuing to go.
Thank you so much, Jay, for that. That was really helpful and brought a lot of insights. Thank you so much.
Well, this is the right time to think about this stuff as well, because it's still the beginning of the year. People are still in the New Year resolution mode. We can play it again next January, but this applies to anybody at any time. any time of the year. January 1st is just
Yeah,
it's just something we've made up. But
true.
these principles
Every
apply.
day can be January 1st.
Right.
Thank you so much.